What's up, YouTube? 1 gallon, $5.70. It's a crazy world we're living in. Thanks for tuning into the channel, guys. It's great to be here. It's a little bit cloudy, and I'm trying to get a ride in to test out the new cam on this Grom. We'll get going here in a minute. I just installed the DHM cam in my Grom last night. Took it out for a little spin, but I also wanted to continue to test it out to see what kind of gains we got. And so I'll walk you through that. I'll walk you through parts of the install that I did last night. For the most part, it's very, very straightforward. The only trouble that I had was getting the chain on the gear and then the gear to slot in. That was a pain in the butt. And let's just kind of go over some of the basics of the install right now before we dive in. Alright guys, so I'm working on the Grom right now. Here is my Grom. I've taken out the cam. I am actually waiting for the new cam to arrive in the mail in about an hour, so I've already pulled out the chain here with this, and I've removed the cover windows, or the viewing windows here, pulled off the valve covers. See there. I'll need to do a valve adjustment as well on the intake and on the bottom. I haven't pulled the bottom out, but so far so good. Everything comes out pretty easy. I've just followed some YouTube videos. You can do the same thing, but yeah, I'll keep you all updated as we go. All right, so I just got this DHM cam in the mail. We're gonna stick this in there. That's what she said. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, so the new cam is inside. I've also screwed in the bolt that holds the cam in place. Putting the cam actually into this slot was a little bit more difficult because it didn't seat all the way properly. So I had to really just kind of push and push with just a little tip. So now I'm going to put this gear in here with the chain, get everything timed, then I have to adjust the valves. All right, so still a long ways to go. Okay, so we are basically done with the install, but I forgot to record along the way. But here's the most difficult part of the install process for me: getting this gear in with the chain on all the way to seat inside. Very, very difficult. That actually took me the longest time because I just could not get it to seat in place. If you see this little tab here, it fits inside the center slot. There's a little slot right there. You can see you're supposed to push into it. Yeah, that was the most difficult part. It just took a lot of elbow grease. That was the most difficult part for me. What really ended up helping was just loosening the valves all the way. So, like, you know, unscrewing the valve screws all the way. I don't know if that did it because I felt a little bit more slack, and then I was able to get the gear in place. Once the gear is in place, you just want to check that this circle aligns with this this little marker here, and then you just want to make sure that in this little viewing hole you can see the letters T and F, and it's top that center. Once all of that is done, then you go up to the top here. I don't have it uncovered right now. It's screwed in. The top and the bottom, you want to adjust the valves, and there's a lot of videos out there that show you how to adjust the valves. I thought that was going to be a difficult process, but it was pretty simple. And then that's it. Once it's all done, you just put everything back, you cross your fingers, and then you start your Grom and hope that nothing blows up in the process. Alright, so like I mentioned, the install was pretty straightforward. I would highly, highly recommend it. Like I mentioned, I was able to test it out just a little bit last night, and obviously there are lots of gains in torque, and I think horsepower. I think you get about 1 additional horsepower. So on a Grom that comes with about like 9 to 10, that's about a 10% jump. Straightforward install. You can either go with the DHM tune, or for me, I used my Power Vision that I had. I don't think the Power Vision tuner is as good as the DHM cam, or the DHM tune. That guy didn't wave at me. So
So take that for what you will, because I don't think I gained a whole lot in my top end, the top end speed. But here, we'll test it out right now. I will say the first thing that I noticed is just a little bit more available like pull or torque in the upper ranges, upper RPM ranges, which is really nice to have, because previously, you know, you can pick up speed on the Grom, but it just takes so long to get there. Now it's just a little bit faster getting there. So like there, it kind of pulls, but don't get me wrong, it's still not a fast bike by any means. If you think you're going to install the cam and all of a sudden get a really fast Grom, I don't think that's what you should expect. At least that wasn't the case for me. But what you can expect, I think, from my experience right now, is about maybe 10% more in the torque, and especially in the upper RPM ranges. Here's my 5th gear right now. There is a little bit more pull than what I've noticed before. Before the cam install, you know, 5th gear was like gutless, but now it actually has a decent pull if I throttle it all the way. All right, here we go. Let's test this out.
So I just want to say that the top speed hasn't changed for me even after the cam change. That might have something to do with the tuning, but what I have noticed is just a really enhanced throttle response. You know, the throttle feels really good, very responsive all throughout the RPM ranges, especially, you know, when you get to that 6,000 RPM and above, really responsive. 5th gear actually has a decent amount of pull. It just really woke up the bike. I don't know what else I can say. Definitely has a lot more pep, has a lot more just, you know, zippy speed that you can kind of get in and out of traffic. So overall, really happy for, you know, $185 investment.
Uphill climb. See if the Grom can hold the speed. And I'm wavy, halfway throttle.
Well, that's it for me today, guys. I'm gonna bounce out of here. But again, overall, definitely worth the investment, especially if you can do it yourself. It's not that bad, it's not that hard. I would definitely encourage you to try it out. And overall, it made the Grom just a lot more fun, which is, you know, kind of the whole point of this whole thing. All right, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.